Hey guys, so as you have probably heard or seen all over the internet and the radio and everywhere else, these peptides, especially the GLP ones, are getting a lot of attention. And I just heard some very interesting information that I thought I would share with you guys. Did you know that up to 1/3 of the weight that you're losing on Ozempic might not actually be fat at all? It's muscle. And it's the same for all of the different peptides: Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound, all of the GLPs. And again, I want to be clear, I am not anti-GLPs. In fact, I think they're an excellent tool, and they can genuinely be a game changer in the space of metabolic health and longevity. And I've seen it. But there's something that nobody is warning you about, and you deserve to know it. When you lose weight fast on these peptides, a big chunk of what you're actually losing isn't fat, it's muscle. And the other big concern I have is with bone. And there's a brand new study that I can't stop thinking about that you guys should know about. People on these therapies are actually moving less than they did before they started, not more. Can you believe that? Well, it's true. I actually can believe that, unfortunately. So now we're losing muscle and we're moving less all at the same time. And muscle is the exact tissue that runs your metabolism. It's the engine. Here's where it catches up with you. You come off the therapy, the weight comes back, but now you've got less muscle than you had when you started. So you're actually worse off than on day one. And this is where I want to be straight with you, because this is what I'm a little bit worried about. I get these calls all of the time saying, Doc, I'm on the microdosing of these peptides that you rant and rave about and talk about the benefits of, and the weight is not moving. This happens quite often. So I open up the conversation and say, well, how's your protein? How's the strength training regimen? How are you doing with sleep? How are you doing with stress? And almost every time it's the same answer. None of it's happening. And at some point during the conversation, it always comes up. I just don't have the time. And I want to say this with love to everybody, because I think this is a really important point to make. Not everybody's being honest about this. And it's not just with the peptides, but it's with everything in life. You have the time. We are all busy. Everybody's got a million things to do. That's the world we live in. But sacrificing your health for your work, for your profession, for the binging of Netflix every night, for whatever you do, it's just not worth it. It doesn't make sense. That is an excuse. If you got diagnosed with a terminal illness tomorrow, you would find the time to prioritize your health. So why are we waiting for a disaster? Or why are we waiting for some type of catastrophe before we make the necessary changes? If you want the best results, if you want to feel well, if you want to live a vibrant life, you have to adopt discipline. You have to adopt consistency on all of the things that actually move the needle. So here's the bottom line. If you want to be on a GLP peptide to help you lose weight and optimize your chances of success, you need to exercise every day. You need to be intentional. You need to do strength training. You need to eat protein every day. You need to prioritize your sleep. You need to prioritize your stress. If you don't do these things, you should not be on a GLP peptide, because you're gonna end up taking the maximum dose for the maximum amount of side effects, and you're gonna have the maximum muscle loss, and you're not gonna be able to get off these things successfully without gaining all of the weight back and then some. These are tools. They are powerful tools, but you have to put in the work. You do your part, the medication will do its part. That's when people get the results that actually last, and that's when you actually earn your way off of these peptides. So if the peptides aren't working, don't listen to your doctor and just keep upping the dose. Make the time, tighten up everything around it, and that's where you're going to get maximum control and maximum outcomes.